name is Stacy Welling, and I'm the District Conservationist for the NRCS Hamilton Field Office. For those of you not familiar with the NRCS, it stands for the Natural Resources Conservation Service, and we are an agency under the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So I'm happy to take a few minutes and just share with you some opportunities here at the local NRCS Hamilton Field Office that coordinates and complements well with the Fire in the Root effort and the goal of fire readiness. So I am going to go over a slideshow that will talk a little bit about some of the opportunities that we have here. Let me get my slideshow going. So I'm going to talk a little bit about just general details about the NRCS and some current cost share opportunities that are available for private forest land owners in Ravalli County, and some future opportunities that will help forest land owners in managing healthy, more fire-resistant forests. So a little bit about the NRCS. We were initially formed in the 30s in response to the Dust Bowl. In the beginning, the NRCS's focus was soil conservation and assisting agricultural producers in implementing good conservation practices on their farmland. Over the years, we've expanded our focus to a wider scope of resource concerns. We still work with local agricultural producers, but that also includes forest landowners. Our assistance and programs are completely voluntary. We maintain a goal of providing site-specific, science-based conservation to private lands. And we work with local partners and landowners and try to emphasize larger-scale approach to conservation through collaboration. We work with Farm Bill programs, and we're able to provide assistance and cost share to landowners to implement conservation practices through a variety of Farm Bill programs. One of the most commonly utilized programs here in Ravalli County is the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, typically referred to as EQIP. Through EQIP, NRCS provides agricultural producers and forest landowners with financial resources and one-on-one help to plan and implement improvements, or what we call conservation practices. Montana NRCS has adopted an approach for prioritizing our EQIP program, and it's called Montana Focused Conservation. This slide displays in concept how the prioritization of EQIP works through Montana Focused Conservation. The goal is that the NRCS is working with partners and local landowners to identify clearly defined resource concerns that can be achieved at a landscape scale. Through this collaborative effort, the local NRCS field office develops proposals that we call targeted implementation plans, or TIP proposals. If a TIP proposal is selected for funding, EQIP in that county is then prioritized towards projects that occur within the boundary of the selected TIP and for those specific practices that the TIP has identified as effective practices to address the defined resource concerns. So I share all this with you just to help everybody understand a little bit about how EQIP cost share is prioritized and how you can get involved and help your local NRCS field office identify opportunities for future TIP proposals. Ravalli County currently has one TIP that's been selected for funding, and it's called the Sapphire Front Forest Health TIP. So as you can see there on the map that's displayed, our project area runs along the east side of the valley from the Sleeping Child drainage all the way north to the county border. The map shows the TIP boundary in the yellow line, and it also displays different ownerships there. The red areas are the privately owned forest lands. So those would be the areas that would be prioritized for EQIP funding. And this TIP prioritizes EQIP towards projects that occur within the project area that focus on treatments that address forest health concerns. The goals of the the Sapphire Front Forest Health TIP are to improve the condition and health of forest stands within the focus area, increase the forest's resilience to fire, insects, and disease, and address overstock stands by reducing excess fields and improving the structure and composition of forest stands. With a regular fire regime being removed from the landscape, we've seen an increase in stocking densities on forest lands, and it's often dominated by species less resistant to fire. These overstocked stands tend to be less healthy stands and more susceptible to insect and disease. In addition, when a fire does come through, it tends to be a very high intensity and a stand replacing fire. So the overall goal of the Sapphire front tip is to address these overstock stands and create, again, more healthy and resilient stands. So there's a couple practices that are available for cost share through our Sapphire front forest health tip. One of the practices we call forest stand improvement, which entails pre-commercial thinning, sanitation harvest, and other intermediate silviculture treatments that would address other types of forest health conditions going on in a stand. The goal of this treatment is to address excess fuels and address undesirable health or productivity concerns within a stand. An additional practice that's available for cost share is what we call woody residue treatment. This practice entails the removal or elimination of slash through pile and burn, chipping, shredding, or removal for utilization. So I encourage any forest landowners that live in this Sapphire front tip focus area and have concerns about their forest health to give me a call, and I can discuss a little bit more with you what the opportunities are, how the EQIP program works, and how you can apply. And we'll go out there, assess your forest stands, do some inventory, and help design some treatments that could address those concerns. In addition, I encourage anybody who is a forest landowner and has concerns about forest health on their property to give me a call. Here at the local field office level, we're always coordinating with landowners and looking for opportunities to collaborate with groups of people within a particular area to address resource concerns. And forest health, as we know, is a big resource concern on private lands within our county. So I just encourage you to give me a call, and I can share with you a little bit more on how this process works. So before I end my presentation, I wanted to quickly discuss another program that is in alignment with the goals of the Fire in the Root, and that is our Emergency Watershed Protection Program, or EWP. EWP program comes into play after a natural resource disaster has occurred. We've used EWP in Ravalli County after floods or fires that impact private lands, such as the Roaring Lion Fire. Before EWP can be made available to landowners after a natural disaster, a partner must come forward and be willing to sponsor the EWP effort. In the past, this has typically been the conservation district. EWP can provide cost share to address damage caused by the natural disaster, and the program can pay up to 75% of construction costs. The remaining 25% must come from local sources, but this can be in kind or a financial contribution. So hopefully we won't have a disaster that would warrant the need of the EWP program, but it is an excellent tool to address those concerns on private lands. So that wraps up all I wanted to share with everyone. Again, I really encourage anyone who has questions or is interested in NRCS assistance or cost share opportunities to give me a call. We're here to provide just technical assistance, but we also are here to learn from people what their concerns are so that we can work with them, see if there's any cost share opportunities, and see if there's any opportunities to develop any tip proposals. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to talking to you soon.